Hello and welcome to Dressmaking Amore. In this sewing tutorial, I'll show you how to make this effortlessly elegant and luxurious Austen blouse. The beautiful ruffled collar drapes all around the soft V-neck at the front and at the gathered yoke at the back, and the dreamy, opulent, extra long sleeves are gathered up at the wrist with ties, and this all gives this classic shirt a grand romantic vision. I'm going to be using my Austen PDF sewing pattern, so to follow along, get yours at the link below in the description. Here are the materials you'll need, and please refer to your instructional booklet that comes with your pattern to choose the right size and print and assemble the pattern perfectly. So here are our pattern pieces cut out: the front, the back, the two pieces of the yoke, the ruffle collar, neckline binding, sleeve casing, and the ties. Okay, let's get to sewing. Place a strip of interfacing that's 4 cm wide right sides together with our front detail and pin and sew. Fold the interfacing towards the seam allowances and understitch the seam allowances from the right side of the interfacing. Then trim the seam allowances in half. And after this, turn the interfacing towards the wrong side of the blouse and press. Then flip and fold the center front edge along the fold to the wrong side and press again. Now mark the centers on the back and yoke details, and then make 2 gathering stitches 4 mm long and 4 mm apart at the top of the back detail. With the yoke right side up, place the back piece matching the center marks and the sides, gathering the back in between these marks. Place the other yoke piece on top, wrong side up, matching everything. Then sew these details together and press. And if your gathering stitches are visible, you can simply take them out. Now place the back and front right sides together and sew the shoulder seams. Then pin the shoulder seam with the right side of the yoke towards the wrong side of the front so that the front details are in between the 2 yoke details. Then sew a shoulder seam into the previous seam and turn it out and press. On a rectangle piece of the ruffle collar, fold 5 to 6 mm towards the wrong side and edge stitch the long side of the ruffle. And then trim the seam allowances. Flip the seam over and edge stitch again, trying to match the previous seam to have our long side baby hem done. Then repeat this for the short sides of the ruffle. On the raw edge, place 2 gathering stitches and press the baby hem all around. With our blouse laying right side up, take your ruffle and place it on top, matching the centers, also right side up. Mark the quarters on both pieces. And then line up the ruffle with the marks and gather it in between and pin. Sew the ruffle to the neckline and press. and then using a bias tape maker, press your bias strips. First, let's fold the self-facing for our closure over the ruffle, right sides together, and pin. Doing the same on the other side. And then unfold your bias tape and pin one edge along the neckline. Sewing it into the bias crease. And then understitching the seam allowances. Turn away the bias tape and trim. Turn the closure corners of the blouse out, placing the blouse wrong side up and pinning the other side of the bias tape all around the neckline. Now we can edge stitch the other side of the bias, catching the edge of the closure facing at the front. And press. Now make a bias tape once more, and then on the right side of our sleeve, mark the line for our casing, 2.5 centimeters away from the sides. Double fold the ends of the casing to the wrong side and sew. And in the instructional booklet that comes with your pattern, I show you how to make one version of the sleeve casing. Here I'll show you how to make a pleated version for our sleeves. Find the center, and depending on how deep you want your pleat to be, mark at both sides of the center. I marked 2 centimeters. Fold the sleeve in half, and at the same distance, make a 1/2 inch seam at the center of the marks we made. Just like this, and press. Measure our guard line, pin the casing right over our marked line, and edge stitch on both sides. And taking your sleeve into the matching armhole, so right into the right, and matching up the double marks at the back of the sleeve, pin it into the armhole right sides together and sew and serge, or use a French or enclosed seam. Press the seam allowances towards the sleeve. And place the front and back wrong sides together so that we can pin the side seam and sew. Then trim, leaving just 3 millimeters. And press the seam open. After this, place it all right sides together and press the side seam again, pinning and sewing 5 to 6 millimeters from the edge. Serge the bottom edge of the blouse, pressing it once finished, and then we can fold the self-closure facing at the front to the wrong side, pin and sew. Turn out the corners to the right side, making sure they're even. And then we can fold the serged edge to the wrong side and top stitch 5 millimeters from the edge, pressing the hem at the end. For the sleeve hem, you can do a baby hem, or you can do a single or double fold. And of course, press. Then sew your bias pieces together to form one long strip and trim the seam allowances and then turn them out. Press for a flat, smooth finish. Then take a safety pin and insert the ties into the casing. Trim to even out the ties and make a securing stitch in the middle of the pleat. Finish off the blouse with buttonholes. Mark them on the right panel of the blouse, and then sew with the buttonhole sewing machine foot. Mark the placement on the left side of the blouse, and using the guides, sew the buttons in place. And giving your garment a finishing press like always, we are done with our romantic Austen top. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspires you to sew this beautiful piece yourself. I know you'll love it. You can get the PDF downloadable sewing pattern that I used below at the link in the description of this video, and happy sewing!